My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the arch-villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth. And I am here today to discuss a rumor that's been floating around that Disney is looking to sell the Star Wars franchise and that there have been no takers. Well, as you all know, I've been somewhat less than enchanted by what Disney has done to Star Wars. In actual fact, one could say the Doomcock feels like Star Wars has had his heart ritually extracted, put in a jar, and shoved up its own ass without lube. I think that would be a reasonable characterization of my feelings, so to say that I'd love to believe this rumor is an understatement. Oh my God, how I wish this rumor were true. At this point, I strongly feel that Star Wars only has two hopes, one of which is the sale of the franchise to another company. Although honestly, who the hell at this point could we trust to do a good job? I'd certainly trust the team that did The Expanse, for example, and I also feel someone like Seth MacFarlane could do a good job with it, though his thing is more Star Trek than Star Wars, but of course, none of those individuals is a studio with enough financial wherewithal to make such a purchase, so I'm not holding my breath on that front. Universal might possibly do a good job, or even Warner Brothers possibly, although both possibilities are fraught with peril. The other possibility is a complete and total cleaning of house at Lucasfilm, getting rid of all the walking woke zombies and hiring people who A, know Star Wars, B, love Star Wars, C, have good taste, and D, have talent enough not to suck and screw it to hell. Basically, in today's environment, I'm of course describing a mother schmucking unicorn, so again, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for that. Nevertheless, the question remains, is Disney looking to sell Star Wars?
I don't know, dude. It seems really unlikely to me. I know at this point, with the failure of Acolyte and Skeleton Crew,
Disney's probably feeling like Jason Bateman in Arrested Development, saying, "I've made a terrible mistake." And yet, they still have a few cards to play, like Andor Season 2 and the Mando and Grogu movie. I imagine they'd probably want to see if either of those can shake Star Wars out of its doldrums.
And yet, wouldn't Disney theoretically be smarter to dump it now, ahead of those releases? If they should both bomb, and at this point it's more likely than not, then the sales price for the franchise would be a lot more now than it would be after two more failures.
Interesting points, gentlemen, and well stated. But we have to do our utmost to deal in facts, not in wishful thinking. To that end, I asked my Hollywood Spies to beat the proverbial bushes and see what they could come up with. And they have provided an answer. At this point, I must state that what I'm about to share with you is information provided to me by sources claiming knowledge of the situation, but since I cannot personally confirm any of this, I'm presenting it as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. So in answer to this rumor, my agents have risen to the challenge, and here's what they had to share. Quote, "We've been hearing from people on YouTube that a rumor going around that Star Wars, so we've been tracking down this latest Ryan Gosling rumor just out of curiosity. Well, it turns out there might be something here. According to the sources we found, the real truth is Ryan and the team behind Deadpool 3 have reached out to Disney wanting to do a movie. The leaked information about this was in fact from the team behind Deadpool 3. As we understand it, there is an idea pitch ready. Ryan G would be a Han Solo type in his own ship, working for the syndicates. Now, to be clear, We didn't believe this at first because it sounded too much like Star Wars Outlaws. But we've learned that's the point, and Ryan Reynolds and others are behind this idea, unquote. But back to the rumor of Star Wars being for sale. Over the weekend, I was told, quote, in addition to Ryan Gosling, we've been told the possibility that Hayden Christensen is also working with someone to make a Vader series. But to be clear, as it stands, Disney has no plans to sell Star Wars, and Andor will be the moment of truth. If it flops, the possibility exists that all options will be on the table, unquote. So my friends, it's easy to see how this rumor got started. Indeed, sources have been telling us for quite a while now that Disney was looking to farm out Star Wars to other studios who could produce TV and movie assets out of house, thereby neutralizing the effect of KK and all of her woke loyalists. It's easy to see how farming out Star Wars to another studio could get morphed into selling Star Wars to another studio in the translation, but at this point at least, that does not seem to be the case as far as we can tell.
Your spies have reported this before, that increasingly behind the scenes, that they're looking to farm out Star Wars production to other creatives, or that the team behind Andor has been looked at as candidates to take over the whole franchise once KK is exorcised from the building. Problem with Andor is, while it's definitely the best written and smartest Star Wars out there, it isn't a whole lot of fun. It's serious, it's grim, really, when you get right down to it, and so not in keeping with the tone of the original trilogy.
Well, if my spies are correct, and they often are, it'll all be moot if Andor doesn't chart at least midway up the Nielsen streaming charts. Disney was deeply spooked by the ratings failure of Skeleton Crew, which had a lot of good things going for it. Despite its many flaws, Jude Law was fantastic on the show, and it was one of the best Disney Plus shows that they've made. Of course, that's like being the prettiest sales clerk at Ross Dress for Less, not a sterling recommendation for ye olde resume. So, as far as my spies have been able to ascertain, Star Wars is not currently for sale, although Disney is looking for a talented studio they can farm Star Wars out to, free of interference from KK, in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, what comes back won't suck so bad. At least, not as bad as normal. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha